Wuhan student studying in the U.S. sentenced for satirical cartoons on Twitter, highlighting CCP's sensitivity. A 20-year-old Wuhan student, Daiqing Luo, studying at a U.S. university, was detained and sentenced to 6 months in prison by Chinese Communist Party, CCP, authorities half a year ago after returning to his hometown. The reason? During his time studying in the U.S., he posted satirical cartoons mocking CCP General Secretary Xi Jinping on Twitter. This case underscores the CCP's extreme sensitivity toward imagery like Winnie the Pooh and the villainous character from the animated series Biker Mice from Mars, known as Thundering Rat Warriors in Hong Kong. U.S. senators have criticized the incident, stating it reveals the CCP's ignorant and paranoid authoritarian nature. Reporters: Yitong Wu, Wen Cheng. According to a verdict published online by the Wuchang District Court in Wuhan, China, on Wednesday, 22nd, Daiqing Luo, born in 1999 and a student at the University of Minnesota's College of Liberal Arts, was arrested and sentenced for posting critical content about Xi Jinping on Twitter. The verdict states that between September and October 2018, while studying in the U.S., Luo used a pseudonym to post over 40 statements and indecently manipulated images defaming the image of national leaders. In May 2019, Luo returned to Wuhan for vacation. On July 12, he was summoned by police and administratively detained for 10 days. The detention was later converted to criminal detention, and he was formally arrested on August 29. On November 5, 2019, Luo was sentenced to 6 months in prison for picking quarrels and provoking trouble. The evidence cited by the CCP includes images of Winnie the Pooh and the villain Lawrence Limburger from Biker Mice from Mars, a character perceived to resemble Xi Jinping. These cartoons were often paired with Xi's speeches or Chinese government propaganda slogans, such as, "Beware of being put on the list," or "No national security without cybersecurity," arranged in a satirical manner. Authorities deemed these posts malicious attacks on the leader's image. The case quickly drew international attention. U.S. media outlets, including Axios and a Fox-affiliated local TV station in Minnesota, covered the story. U.S. Senate Intelligence Committee member Ben Sasse condemned the CCP, stating that it bans citizens from using Twitter while monitoring their overseas posts, calling it a textbook example of ignorant and paranoid totalitarianism. Senator Marco Rubio also expressed concern about the case on Twitter. A University of Minnesota spokesperson told media that the university had no specific information about the incident and has not issued further statements. Reporters contacted Luo's defense lawyer, Jibin Hu, who declined to comment due to the case's sensitivity but confirmed that Luo was released on January 11, 2020. When reporters reached Luo himself, he acknowledged the accuracy of the online verdict but said he is currently in a resting state, and declined to disclose whether he remains under surveillance or plans to return to the U.S. for studies. The case sparked significant reactions among overseas Chinese student communities. Yi Jiyu, a student at the University of Georgia, compared Luo's case to that of Ping Quan in 2016, who was sentenced to 1.5 years for planning to wear a t-shirt in China with phrases like "Zidler" and "Big Spender." Jiyu noted that while Quan's case occurred in China, Luo's case shows the CCP extending its surveillance to the U.S., targeting a platform banned in China. He argued this reflects the CCP's attempt to exert cyber sovereignty over U.S. online spaces and enforce global speech governance. Jiyu urged netizens to overcome fear and use satire to protest authoritarianism, stating, "Xi is portrayed as a god, but we should strive harder to desecrate this false idol." Lebao Wu, a student at the Australian National University, raised concerns about the potential role of the Chinese Students and Scholars Association, CSSA, in the case. He noted that since Xi took power, the CCP's control over overseas students' speech has intensified, and the CSSA may have facilitated monitoring through informants. Wu called on the FBI and the University of Minnesota to investigate whether the CSSA played a harmful role, suggesting that if confirmed, the U.S. should consider banning the organization or holding it legally accountable. U.S.-based Chinese lawyer Ruoyu Yang analyzed that since Xi rose to power in 2012, the CCP has spared no effort in shaping his image, but due to his unworthy character, it has instead created numerous embarrassments. In 2013, picking quarrels and provoking trouble was formalized as a pocket crime. through judicial interpretation, becoming a key tool for suppressing free speech. In this case, the CCP disregarded procedural justice and national boundaries, demonstrating its aggressive expansion of judicial jurisdiction. Yang called for the international community to respond to this overreach. In recent years, arrests for mocking Xi have become frequent. In 2016, Ping Quan was jailed for his t-shirt stunt. In 2019, cartoonist Dongning Zhang and netizen Shining Lu were arrested upon returning to China for creating and sharing pig-headed, satirical artworks, with information about their cases now suppressed by authorities. These incidents highlight the CCP's zero-tolerance stance toward criticism of Xi's image. Luo's case not only exposes the CCP's stringent control over online speech but also raises broader concerns about the freedom of overseas students and global cyber sovereignty. It may further intensify international scrutiny of China's human rights record and prompt discussions on countering the CCP's expanding surveillance network.